Hello everyone, welcome to physics classes. I am Sarabdeep Kaur Sidhu here. So today we are going to discuss a very important topic and a very basic topic. And what is that topic? That topic is difference between conductors, semiconductors and insulators. Clear ji? So let's start. This topic is very important for plus 2, also in a plus 2 syllabus in BSc 1, 2, 3, even in MSc. Very basic topic. Clear ji? So before we start, we discussed in the previous lecture about the energy bands in a solid. Energy band in a solid, about valence band, conduction band and forbidden energy gap. So we differentiate between conductors, semiconductors and insulator on the basis of their electrical properties and also on the energy bands. Clear ji? So first difference, first is the definition. First difference, conductor, semiconductor, insulator. First difference, these are the substances that conduct electricity. Clear ji? About conductors, and they conduct electricity partially, not fully, partially. And insulators, they do not conduct electricity. First difference. And also the second difference, the number of electrons required for conduction is very large because they conduct electricity. So number of valence electrons required for conduction, that are very large in the case of conductors. And in the case of semiconductor, the number of valence electrons are moderate, not more, not very less. And in the case of insulator, they are very low. They are very low number of electrons required for conduction. ठीक है जी? Two differences. Then third difference. Third difference is about the conductivity, about the electrical properties, conductivity and resistivity. So first about conductivity. So they conduct electricity. So conductivity for them, for these type of substances, very high, and that is range approximate between, this is not exact approximate, 10 raised to power 2 to 10 raised to power 8 mho per meter. Clear? This is the range. And in the case of semiconductors, the conductivity, the value of conductivity is moderate values, and that is between 10 to the power 5, 10 to the power minus 6 mho per meter, approximate values. ठीक है जी? And in insulators, because they do not conduct electricity, the value for conductivity is very less, and that is about 10 to the power minus 11, in between 10 to the power minus 11 to 10 to the power minus 19. ठीक है? In between these values, 10 to the power minus 19 to 10 to the power minus 11, or you can say mho per meter. Units are very important. Clear? Then about the resistivity. About resistivity, if conductivity is high, then what about resistivity? All of we know. What about resistivity? Resistivity for conductors, that is very low, and that is about 10 raised to power between limit is here, range 10 to the power minus 2, 10 to the power minus 8. Clear? Or we can say lower value is this and higher value is 10 to the power minus 2. Then is in the case of semiconductors. Semiconductor, the conductivity of semiconductors and resistivity is in between the conductors and insulators. Clear? So resistivity is approximate in the range 10 raised to power minus 5 to 10 to the power 6 ohm meter. Clear? Because we know that R is equal to rho L upon A. So units are ohm meter. Okay? And the value is moderate value. And in the case of insulators, because conductivity is very low, so resistivity is very high, will be high, very high, not high, very high. And that is between 10 to the power 11 to 10 to the power 19 ohm meter. You can also write this units as this, ohm meter. Full ohm or ohm meter. Okay? Next difference is on the basis of band theory. On the basis of band theory. So in the previous lecture, we have studied about valence band, conduction band, forbidden energy gap. So we use that here. So there are two types of structures in the case of conductors. The first structure is this, that is valence band is fully filled and conduction band is empty, and the gap between valence band and conduction band is nil, that is 0 electron volt. That is 0 electron volt. Clear? So this type of band structure is found in aluminium, third group elements, then is alkali metals, that is lithium, sodium, and then is noble metals, that is copper, gold and silver. Clear? Then is second structure, in which this structure, see here, the valence band is fully filled, conduction band is empty. But what is the difference in these two structures? In this structure, valence band, this valence band and conduction band overlap. There is a overlapping. There is a overlapping. So this is a overlapping region. This small region. This is overlapping region. Clear? And so what we can say that the electrons of the valence band are responsible for the conduction in the, helps in the conduction in the conduction band, helps in conduction in the conduction band, because they jump to the conduction band, because they don't require any energy. Clear? Clear? And when temperature increases, what will happen when temperature increases? Then with the increase of temperature, flow of current decreases. Flow of current decreases. Why decreases? When resistance increases. Resistance increases. Clear? With the rise in temperature. Clear? And then is the case of semiconductors. Semiconductors. In semiconductors, valence band is again fully filled, conduction band is empty, and the gap, which is called forbidden energy gap, that is a gap between a valence band and conduction band, that is less than 3 electron volt. That is less than 3 electron volt. More than conductors, because conductors, the valence band and conduction band overlaps, but maybe less than insulators. It will lessen. It is less than in the case of insulators. Okay? So that is less than 3 electron volt. And when temperature increases, temperature increases, what will happen? The electron from the valence band goes to conduction band. There is a flow of current when we apply a electric field. Clear? So with the rise in temperature, resistance decreases and current increases or conduction increases. Clear? Reversal in the case of conductors. Okay? And semiconductors, in the case of silicon, in the case of, there are two pure semiconductors, that is silicon and germanium, also carbon, and in silicon the forbidden energy gap is 1.1 electron volt. In silicon, 1.1 electron volt in silicon, and in the case of germanium, that is 0.7 electron volt. That is 0.7 electron volt. Clear? Germanium, for germanium 0.7 and for silicon 1.1. Clear? And in the case of insulators, what will happen in the case of insulators? In insulators, the forbidden energy gap is very large, very large. See here, this is the gap, Eg. Eg is very large and that is greater than 3 electron volt or equal to 3 electron volt. Clear? So, more energy is required for the valence electron to jump to the conduction band. More energy is required for the valence electron to jump from the valence band to conduction band. Large amount of energy, more than the energy forbidden energy gap. Clear? And in the case of diamond, it is 6 electron volt, and also in the case of glass, it is about approximately 10 electron volt. So much forbidden energy gap. Clear? Clear? And with the rise in temperature, starting there is no flow of current, but when temperature rises, then some electron jump from the valence band to conduction band, and there is a slightly very less flow of current. Clear? Clear? So what we conclude that in the case of conductors, on the basis of band theory, with the rise of temperature, conduction decreases, resistance increases, and reversal in both cases. When with the rise in temperature, resistance decreases and conduction or current increases. What about the temperature coefficient of resistance in 3? Okay, what is? They have positive temperature coefficient of resistance. How? We have studied in previous point that what is, with the rise in temperature, resistance increases, conduction decreases. So that's why they have positive temperature coefficient of resistance, and they have negative temperature coefficient of resistance. With the rise in temperature, resistance decreases and conduction or current increases. And same is in the case of insulators. They also have negative temperature coefficient of resistance. ठीक है जी. Next point, 8 point, doping. Doping means when we add another metal, any impurity. Clear? When we add another metal to already a conductor, then it becomes alloy. And in the case of semiconductors, when we add impurity to a pure semiconductor, that is a germanium and silicon, then the semiconductors formed are p-type and n-type semiconductors. What? P-type and n-type. When we add pentavalent impurity, pentavalent means the metal which have 5 valence electron, then it becomes n-type, and when we add trivalent impurity, then it becomes p-type semiconductor. ठीक है जी. And no such in the case of doping is not in the case of the insulators. Then is about the valence electron. Current is due to valence electron. We know this. And in the case of semiconductors, current is also due to electrons and also due to holes. And there is no flow of current in the case of insulators. ठीक है जी. Next 10th point is the number of valence electron is less than 4. When it becomes 4, then it is a semiconductor. When number of valence electron here is 4. The number of valence electron in the case of semiconductor, in the case of pure, that is germanium and silicon, that is 4. ठीक है जी. And no valence electron in the case of insulators. No valence electrons. ठीक है जी. Next about the examples. We have already studied examples, all the metals that are the conductors. Clear? And in the case of semiconductor, pure semiconductors are germanium and silicon, that are also called intrinsic semiconductors. And p-type and n-type semiconductors are called extrinsic semiconductors. And in the case of insulators, dry air, rubber, plastic, ebonite, glass, ठीक है जी, all are the insulators. Then last point, that is about the practical applications. What are the practical applications? Hanji, what about the metals? For example, mercury, they have lot of practical applications. We can't discuss all the applications here. Yeah. So for example, mercury, that is used in the thermometers. Clear? Aluminium, that is used in aluminium foils, also in the kitchen utensils. Clear? These all are the practical applications. Then is in the case of practical application, in the case of semiconductors. Yes, semiconductors. So conductors, mercury used in thermometers, then is aluminium used in aluminium foils in the utensils, etc. All. And in the case of semiconductors, the semiconductors are used in manufacturing what? In PN junction diodes, and also in making transistors and ICs, integrated circuits, and also so many practical applications. Then insulators. Insulator, for example, they are used in capacitors. Some capacitors we use dry air, and so here. So this is all about the practical applications. So we have studied 11 points of difference between conductions, insulators, and semiconductors, and it's a very important and very basic concept. So hope all of you enjoy this lecture. Thank you very much.